Everybody, I'm bladecharge, and today I will be starting a series for newcomers entering into the Warhammer 40k tabletop game. I was gonna get a better mic for doing this, but I decided to just why not just go ahead and do it. And I'll get the mic when I get the mic. So, at any rate, for today's first episode, I want to talk about the golden rule. I think the golden rule that I'm referring to is something that's widespread in the community. I think, not too sure. The golden rule I'm talking about is build the army of whatever faction you like and you think that you will enjoy playing on the tabletop. They could be meta, it could be not meta. If it is meta, that's a bonus to you because you got a good army. Because, it's a meta army, so there you go. If your army is not a meta army, and if it's pretty much like one of the not so good, like bottom tierish, low ranking army on the meta list, like towers at the moment. But if you really love them and like them and such, and if you really, really, really want to make them, go ahead, go for it, go make that army. The only reason why I said really a bunch is if you want to get into the tabletop, that is. I suggest before making your army that you go look up on the play style, how they play, get a feel for them, try to understand them a bit, that sort of thing. Because research will help you out. It will help you out on what units you want to add into your army as well. It will give you an idea on what to make. I'll leave some links to popular Warhammer 40k tabletop channels, or well known ones at the very least, to help you out because they have videos talking about all sorts of stuff and even battle reports, which battle reports are basically players playing Warhammer 40k the tabletop, which you can learn from. No guarantee if they're going to be PG-13 and such, except for Auspex Tactics. Butchered that name, but at any rate, so if you do go around asking people of what faction, army, sub-faction, whatever, that you should play, if you get people telling you that you shouldn't play Tau or Ultramarines, but you really want to play them, or one of them at the very least, in this example, then I suggest for you to probably ignore them. They probably will have their own reasons, be like, oh, Tower ain't grimdark, oh, Ultramarines are blowing out of proportion and they're getting all the love because they're the poster boys or whatever, or that there's too many Ultramarines or Space Marine players out there, which, yes, there is a lot of them, but that shouldn't deter you if you want to play a Space Marine faction. Well, sub-faction. Like the Ultramarine chapter, the Salamander chapter, the White Scar chapter, the Blood Angel chapter, etc. Also, if one of these said players tell you, oh, you shouldn't play this army because this army is terrible or not good this edition. To be honest, with armies and editions and codexes and FAQs, which do change things up when it comes to if an army is better now or if they got nerfed and they're not so great now, that can change real easy. Before I mentioned that the Tau aren't so hot, so great so far in 9th edition, that's because they don't have a 9th edition codex. It takes time for codexes to get released, and we are in the start of the 9th edition, so they're not doing so hot because they don't have the codex. Our problem is the same situation with the Gene Stealer code and the Imperial Guard as well. None of them are doing that great so far, but if they get the codexes, it can improve them. Hopefully, we don't know what's going to be on the codexes unless it gets leaked out early, so to say. Nurgle's Plague, the cough, has been slowing things down for GW, and we have been getting some delays. Like during the time of this video being uploaded, the Updatus Mechanicus Codex did get delayed. If you're watching this from far into the future and such, then you probably don't have to worry about what I just said. Thing with editions is that one edition an army can be great, the next edition an army can be bad. And eighth edition, again, I'm using Tau again because they're the most that I know about from past editions, believe it or not. But Tau and eighth edition, they were doing pretty well because it was kill all your opponent's models, like wipe them out, annihilation sort of thing. But in ninth edition is get to an objective and hold it, which Tau ain't that good at. Gene Stealer Codes and Imperial Guard also have this problem as well, holding objectives. I believe that is their issue. I do want to take this time and say if you're not really sure if you want to really join in on the Warhammer 40k wargaming hobby, if you don't want to do that, there is some alternatives. There's Tabletop Simulator where you can get it on Steam and you can actually play Warhammer 40k games with other people. There is a dedicated Discord channel where you can hop on and ask for games. I don't really ask for games on there myself, so I don't know how much of a chance you would get, but the game is $20. But if you want to try the physical thing yourself, I would recommend like getting like a simple box of whatever faction you want to play in and try to play a game called Kill Team. It's like a small squad of models. And you go in there and you do mission objectives and whatnot. They actually released this year a brand new Kill Team set. I will warn you, it is overpriced to a degree, but if you really want to get interested in Warhammer 40k, you can get that. It's only going to have Necron and Space Marine models, which do not have their own separate box to themselves. And those models are pretty good, I must say. Also, there is a thing called Combat Patrol boxes, close to around 500 points and can be used in Combat Patrol games. Of course, there is one for each faction, so try to keep that in mind. It's also the Indominus Crusade starter box. If you guys are sure that you really want to go in further deeper into the hobby, it only has Space Marines and Necrons, just to let you know. But it does come with other things like a rulebook, I believe, and paint. I believe you could get the factions separately, but the models for the Space Marines and Necrons are good. So I'm gonna wrap this up by saying if you want to make an army, if you really want to go build up a certain faction, despite what it is, go ahead. You're not going to have as much fun and such if you just make a meta army and you don't really like playing that meta army, but you're playing it because it's better and such. Don't do that to yourself. You're supposed to have fun and enjoy the game. But if you don't mind the army and if you really want to make it, fine, but just to let you know, it's okay if your army is not meta. It's fine. You can make it. Go ahead and make it. If you choose to build an army that isn't doing too well in a meta, and if you want to be competitive with it, just know that things are going to be a bit more challenging for you, to say at the very least. Don't buy or build an army that you're not going to like just because of your friends or the players or whatever. If you're not gonna like playing that army, then you're probably not gonna have any fun playing it. If you are gonna make homebrews, make sure you follow the instructions on how to make homebrews of whatever faction you are making and such. That's gonna wrap up this video. Next time we're probably gonna talk about the prices of armies and such. I'll give an overview on that. But at any rate, this has been Blade Charge, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been a guide for newcomers to Warhammer 40k by a newbie-ish person, maybe, or however I word the title. Alright guys, stay humble. See you later.